If the reverse were the case and I was dying, would you consider giving me your kidney? Because you abandoned me, I would not do it.
Just screaming manipulation and entitlement.
Thank you.
Because first of all, you left the life of this child when she was 5, when she was family. Like, this is her father, but what makes a father is the bond you create with the father and not the fact that you share the same blood.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I know it's been a while, it's been a minute since we shot video or even uploaded, and we're very sorry for that. But this is a new year, so firstly, happy new year to you guys.
Happy new year, guys.
We are hoping that this new year is better, we are more stable, we're more consistent, and we're going to be bringing very interesting topics to you guys.
We tried to keep to our promise this time. So I remember we said that, we are coming back again, so let's keep to our promise this time.
Yeah, we will. Okay, so today I brought you to talk about fathers, and unfortunately for us, we're both fatherless. I found something online that was quite interesting. A girl, talking about her dad, and the topic was very interesting, and I wanted to hear her opinion on that because a lot of people had different opinion on this particular conversation. So I'm going to read it so you guys can get the context. The person on Twitter, Remsex, that's his or her name. So my dad abandoned me and my mom when I was 5. He left to start a new family and had little to no contact with me growing up.
Wow.
He never asked me of any bill or paid any bills. I struggled with feelings of abandonment for many years, but I eventually moved on and built life without him. Recently, out of the blue, I got a call from his wife telling me my father is very sick and needs a kidney transplant. She told me that I might be the best match and begged me to get tested. Apparently, his other family members aren't capable. I told her no, I don't owe him anything after the way he treated me. He made his choices when he abandoned me and my mom. And I feel no obligation to put myself through a major surgery for someone who essentially is a stranger to me. Since then, I have been bombarded with messages from his side of the family, calling me selfish and heartless. They say I'm letting him die out of spite and that I need to be the bigger person. Even my mom thinks I should consider it, not for him, but to avoid carrying guilt if he passes away. I don't feel guilty. I feel like he's reaping what he sowed. But part of me wonders if I'm being too harsh. Being contacted at 28 to give an absent father my kidney isn't what I bargained for. Should I reconsider? So that's the whole story. So when I read it, I'm like, So now I would want to firstly ask you the question. If, let's say, thank God you had a very present dad.
Yeah.
But let's say the reverse were the case where your dad abandoned you and you got a message like this. Would you consider being a donor?
I feel like the story in itself is just screaming manipulation and entitlement.
Thank you.
Because first of all, you left the life of this child when she was 5, when she was literally like a baby, and she's lived without you for 23 years, and you didn't think about her. See, I don't want to judge too much, and because I don't really like, this is a one-sided story, but no matter how you tell this story, he left the child 23 years ago and he's married again. He has a new family. Yeah. And he wouldn't have thought about this child if he wasn't in need.
Exactly.
So I feel like the whole thing is annoying to me. Especially like them trying to play her on the whole situation, like making her feel like, oh, you're going to... The girl said already that she doesn't feel guilty, which I think is the most important thing. If I'm putting myself in her shoes, I cannot entirely relate because I grew up in a very, I had a very present dad. I grew up in a complete family. So maybe I cannot entirely relate to what she's feeling. But I feel like what is most important is what she feels. She should not allow people to guilt play her. Because at the end of the day, donating your organ is so risky for you as well. It's not like, oh, if it's a money situation, you can be like, oh, I'll just give you the money and your conscience will judge you. But now, if you're donating the kidney, you're putting yourself at risk as well. So if it's not something that you really want to do, and if you're not feeling guilty, don't go for it. Because at the end of the day, family, this is her father, but what makes a father is the bond you create with the father, and not the fact that you share the same blood. You know, if you share the same blood with the same like with this person, and this person has never been there for you, has never asked about you, has never cared about your well-being, I don't see why you should feel guilty about not donating an organ for the person. I know it might sound so wicked that, oh, this person might die or the condition might get worse, but you're also risking yourself, and this person doesn't feel like a father to you. The only thing that makes him a father is that you guys share the same blood, is that he got your mother pregnant, you know. So I don't know the whole story. It depends on why he left your life. If he had a valid reason, because I don't know what could be a valid reason, honestly. I don't know what could be a valid reason to leave your child at 5 and never cared to ask about the child. So this is my opinion. Like, if you want to, of course it's honorable to like save a life, but if you don't feel like doing it, I don't see why you should feel guilty about not doing it. That's my 6 cents.
I'm smiling because I don't have excuses for abandonment when it comes to kids, honestly, because this child didn't ask to be here. It's just like when I was watching Dubai Bling, where Faha was angry at the baby daddy, or her ex-husband, sorry. And some people were like, oh, she doesn't have to be that angry. I don't have any excuse.
Or LJ's like mother not being in the picture.
Like you can see how these things affect me. My own answer, I won't give you the kidney. Sometimes don't be the bigger person. That's just the truth.
You know
Sometimes
why I say that?
No, I'm not. Do you know why?
Yeah.
I don't have any relationship with you.
Yes.
I think as much as you contributed the blood or the sperm rather to get my mom pregnant, I abandoned me at 5 and I grew up fine without you for 23 years. And now you're at the point of death. Because if the reverse were the case and I was dying, would you consider giving me your kidney? Because you abandoned me. I would not do it. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry if you were not able to contact me or my mom, there would also be other ways for you to get your kidney. But me giving you a kidney that maybe in the future I might need
even affect you.
You have no impact in my life. It's just like now walking on the street and someone tells you, please give me a kidney, I'm dying. I won't give it to you because
you're literally like a stranger to her.
You're a stranger to me. I'm sorry that's why being a father is not just contributing the sperm.
It's not just like sharing your sperm.
Watching what my dad did for me and my siblings and my mom, how he took care of us, that's being fatherly. Like, I won't even think twice if, let's say, my kidney could have kept my dad alive today. I would do it because he was such a present dad. Do you get? He went all out. I wouldn't do it unless maybe she feels like she wants to. And she said she doesn't want to and she's feeling guilty. She's letting people manipulate her because that's pure manipulation.
It's pure manipulation.
That's pure manipulation. The way you've forgotten about me, forget my kidney. Because now that you need something, you want to now be present in my life. And the thing is, like, I might even give you that kidney and would never form that relationship. So what are we really doing here? Oh, like you gave birth to a child that will reserve kidney for you. No. If you abandon me, I also have the right to abandon you. I would forgive you. Oh, I probably might have even forgiven you. I would forgive you, but me not giving you a kidney it does't change and it doesn't make me a bad person. Do you get? Because you're someone that donated sperm doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're entitled to any organ on my body in my body. So
did you give birth to me like only to save me for when you need me? You know, I say like I'm leaving it up to her because, you know, at the end of the day, there are some times that you can also see people that will donate organs to strangers, you know. So it's from that light. If you're donating organs to her, it's just because you care about this human being and not because he's your father.
Exactly, but she already said she's feeling guilty because no, she already said that she's not feeling guilty. That it's just the people around her making it feel like she's making a very terrible decision.
And for the mother, I know that people might be like, be the bigger person. No. Don't be the bigger person. You know, this person has not been there in your life, and what's the point of coming back at this point only for you to, so he's been waiting for you to be the bigger person. You know, just do whatever your gut and your conscience is comfortable with. And for the mother, why are you even like trying to guilt play her?
And I feel like probably maybe because the mom maybe still has feelings for him, and then African mothers, it's possible, African mothers where like African mothers always like my husband, or because
I think it's because of what people will think, because of how it seems, not necessarily because of how she genuinely,
probably too. Like I would say them because, and the thing is like we human beings sometimes we also have this need to make people do good all the time. Do you get, like, when
somebody does something, it will be as if they are bad people.
They are bad people, because I don't like the fact that the people from the father's side are telling her she will regret it, she has to be there, she's trying to play too hard and all of those things. Let's stop manipulating people, because what they are doing is pure manipulation. If the table were reversed, would you give the kidney?
Not in a million years.
Someone that abandoned you for 23 years, like, what reason do you really want to give me? Even if, see, I would always say this, like, children and couples, try to take them apart. When parents are having issues, don't abandon your children because you're having issue either with your partner. It has nothing to do with the kids. Do not abandon your kids.
We are not sending child support. We are not calling. We are not doing anything, because sending child support is the least you can do for a child. That emotional support, like, you do not even invest at all, and now you're coming to. It's not even like you're just claiming that the child should take care of you financially. Is to donate their organ, which puts them at risk. And let's even also talk about the man's new wife. You know,
exactly.
She's the one that reached out to ask for this. When they got married, why didn't she think about
bringing the family together?
About bringing the child. Because if I marry somebody who had a child already, make sure that whoever, like, is the father has to be in the life of that child. Because it's not something you come and say, oh, just forget about your old family, we are building a new one. This is still part of his family, you know. And even if you've done that, you shouldn't have the guts. You should have the shame to not even think about this thing. Because you're being selfish, you're only thinking about how it affects you. Like, you don't want to lose your husband, not because you don't want to, you know, you don't want to lose a husband and you don't care about what happens to this child. You want this child to be the scapegoat that would, you know, it doesn't just make sense.
No, me, I wouldn't, I'm sorry, like, if you call me mean or anything, but I would not do it. After 23 years out of the blues, my first contact with you is for me to give you my organ. Like,
and she doesn't know this person.
I don't know you.
She doesn't know it. Like, she's just hearing that she has a father somewhere, and no, it's just such a terrible.
This begs to also, like, talk about this. Like, some people watching this, I'm definitely sure they are young people. In the future, if you're not ready to parent a child, please do not bring them into this world. Because trying to imagine this 5-year-old, let's say you go for graduation or all these things where Parents' Day, and your dad, they ask you, where is your dad? Your dad is not always there. People might think he's dead, but he's alive somewhere representing other kids. And then you didn't know what
you're acting like a child.
Exactly, because the abandonment would affect her even building her own family unless she, like, does the work. Because you're going, you know, sometimes I try to think about it, like, if I grew up without my father, knowing that there is this other family he's 100% dedicated to, like, it's not just resentment, it will mess with my mind. Because I'll be like, okay, so I'm not good enough for you to be in your life, that you go out of the way to even start a family and have other kids with someone else, and then you leave me and my mom for 23 years. Not once did you try to reach out to build a relationship with us. And then you're dying, you want me to care. You didn't do anything for me.
The reason I wanted to hear the other side of the story, there's no excuse for abandonment, but I also know that there are some times that, like, relationships can get so chaotic and one partner, like, really demands that the other partner should not be in the life of the child at all, you know. Even when the other person is trying to, like, be in the life, there are sometimes that they can be blocked out at entirely. But if you watch,
they didn't block him out. Like, that's what she's saying. For 23 years, no contact.
Oh, he wasn't.
Both him and the mom. So if to show you that if things were really bad, the mom wouldn't have even said, the mom wouldn't have said, oh, let's consider it. He didn't reach out. Probably she was waiting for him to reach out.
So this is I would, if I'm the person, if I'm her, this is an entire stranger to me, you know. So if I would do this for a stranger, maybe I would do it for him, but I wouldn't do it because he's my father, because he's not my father, you know. I would do it because I want to save a human being, because our organs are compatible or whatever. But this is not even something that I feel like because he left me, that resentment of 23 years will not even allow me to even think, like, even process the thought of helping this man. I feel the girl's pain. I don't think she should feel guilty at all, because this person has not been in her life. She's not been thinking about him. Why should you, like, start thinking about this person right now? Because this man died to her, like, 23 years ago.
Yeah, so I wouldn't, I'm sorry, like, I wouldn't give you my kidney to save life, to make goodwill. I wouldn't. I'm still young. according to her, she's 28 years old.
Yeah.
I'm still young. I have a whole life ahead of me, and giving it to you have never impacted anything in my life. I would have regrets, and I wouldn't want such regrets. I'm sorry that you're sick. If it's to support you with money for us to find a donor for you, we would do that. I would do that, maybe with the monetary aspect. But going under the knife for you, take away my kidney and give you who have done nothing in my life, I'm sorry. The answer is no.
Yeah.
Then this now brings me to the topic of like this family thing, because sometimes we just feel, oh, because we are blood related. I just feel like blood doesn't just make family.
It doesn't make family. At least in this century, in this day and age, it's not about the blood. It's about, for me, family are people who care about your, like, who have your interest at heart, people that care about your well-being, people that are ready to sacrifice for you. And this is, to me, why sometimes friends can even become family, you know. So, like, I've said it before, like, if my current family doesn't have my best interest at heart, there's no way I would call them family. But luckily for us, we all grew up together. We are like closely knitted, and I consider them family because we're always helping each other. But if I was feeling a lot of pain from them, because sometimes I would hear stories about maybe like fathers raping their daughters, or even sleeping with their daughters, or mothers like abusing their children to the point that they lose their self-confidence. And there's so many things that, like, you see a lot of people like denying their parents or denying some of their siblings, and the society is like criticizing them and saying that, oh, you know, no matter what, they're your family. Those excuses like make people feel comfortable with doing whatever because you would always be family. No,
exactly.
Family are people that have your best interest at heart.
So that's the thing. Like, it really bothers me as well, like when we say, oh, family, because there was this story that I read online where this guy, the first son, this guy hustles so well. Like, when their dad died, because he's the first son, he started taking care of the family and all, and he made some money. He wanted to build for himself, but he was like, okay, let him build for his family. That's how he built family house. Do you know that after building the family house, his siblings and mom sent him out of the house? Like, whenever
Why?
Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that because your blood doesn't, like, because people share the same blood sometimes also doesn't mean that you're family. Or in a case like you mentioned where a father rapes a daughter, or a mother abuses a child abuses a child to a point where their self-esteem, confidence is nowhere to be found. When you think about it, like, sometimes if you think that your family is too toxic for you, like a place that doesn't let you grow, because to me family is a place where you feel loved, you feel wanted, you feel seen, like there's this support you get. But if you don't get all those things, if you can create your own new family, because there are some people that leave their family, go ahead and create a whole new family through friendship or partnership, and they are thriving. So if that is you, and you're in a relationship where you're in a family where you're not loved, there is no care, there is no support, it's just manipulation, talking down on you, all those things, maybe even beating you, abusive, like you're in an abusive relationship with your parents, things like that. If you can find a way to go, see, this life is once, and because of the way they even treat you, when you want to start your own family, you might now think that is the way family is supposed to be, but that's not what the case is. So in her own situation, I would say, do not give your kidney. As you've said it, that you're not feeling.
No, her own is too extreme. Like, her own is too extreme.
Go with your gut, baby girl. Do not.
I don't feel any guilt about it.
I don't feel it at all. And I also want to use this opportunity to give accolades to dads that are present in their children's lives. It's really not easy being a parent, and if you're not ready, do not be one. Like, when you bring kids to this world, please make sure you take care of them, be present in their life, love and support them as much as you can. Honestly, that's it for me.
Yeah, and I think it's the same for me, like, especially also for people that like go about like having multiple children. You will see some. We are 6 in my house, you know, we are quite a lot, but this is a new century, you know, like, I feel like at this day and age, people should like have as many as they would be able to raise, you know. There's no point of having 6, 7 children that even when you're financially struggling. And a lot of times I feel like people can also be so religious and be like, oh, God will provide. You have to plan yourself. You have to plan for your kids. You have to plan for their future, you know. So stop leaving everything up to God. God has given you all the resources, so you should do the work, you know.
Sure.
Do family planning. Even if it's 2 children that you can raise, even if it's 1 child, raise the child properly. Like, give the child all the things that they need. That child has the potential of like being great in the future, you know. So
I agree with you, because this thing you said now, it just reminds me of how back at home, where parents give birth and hope that their children will be their retirement plan. I remember when I was growing up, there was this family that lived downstairs where they had 9 children and they were living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
body.
No, like a like 1 bedroom, 1 bed, and then they had like toilet and bathroom and
like
kitchen,
the father and the mother,
and the 9 children, and then
Wow.
these kids, like, they go out, they hawk. I'm like, that was back in the day. Presently, please give birth to as much as you can take care of. Don't go and give birth to 4 or 5 children when you can only cater for 1 or 2. So that you will not abandon your children out of, oh, the work is too much, or I'm too tired.
So guys, we really hope you enjoyed this podcast. We want to hear your own opinions about this topic. If you are this person, what would you have done in this situation? Please drop a comment in the comment section below, and we're going to reply to all your comments. Please, we are looking forward to your comments and your engagement, and try to also share this video to other people who might be interested in listening to this. And we're going to see you again in our next episode.
Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and bye.